Howdy everybody, today we are here to do yet another episode of DC Universe Online. If anything, realistically, I've probably pre-taped 3 episodes of this, so realistically, we're going to get to those eventually. The whole thing with it is, it's much easier to get to bash out an episode, but then after that, you gotta find time to commentate over it. Been playing a lot of Breaking Bad lately. Been playing a lot of just other stuff that has miraculously gone well. So, if anything, we're gonna start out, playing some DC Universe Online. I think I'm gonna pause it for a second, so I can up the volume. Alright, now that I changed the volume and whatever, I also needed to change the, this was set at like 480, I needed to change it to 720, so better graphics. Anyways, let's start this out by saying now I guess I'm in some kind of league now. If anything, this is one of those leagues that was just kind of started, and then, like, it was just somebody that just got as many members as they could. We are a serious organization. We will promote the ones who contribute to the league any way they can. We do on daily missions and rally daily between X and X time. When we call you, if you decline, you will be kicked out, period. Realistically, I've just kind of been putzing around and doing my own thing. I know there was one time where... let's get started on this. Where once I got into this league, I did start to hear like voice chat or whatever, and I turned that off because I'm like, one, I'm going to be commentating over my videos, and to hear others just kind of, I just turned that off. So realistically, if any of these people want to whatever, have me be in touch, that's what the messaging system's for. But evidently, starting out right now, there's about 37 members. I think right now there's probably more than that. There's probably 40, 45, but I don't know, realistically, I still have done this.
Giganta's ritual inside. Stop the Amazons and destroy those stones.
I still have been doing this quite a bit, and I haven't done any real league stuff yet. I haven't teamed up with anybody or anything like that. And I've done quite a bit of missions, quite a bit of stuff. If anything, we're getting close to through this story, we're getting close to the Giganta mission. And recently I had, on my hero story, the girl hero story, I had done that, and that actually showed that mission off pretty well. Really, there's not a huge amount of difference on what the villain side or the hero side was for that mission. The cutscenes were the same. It really didn't matter if it was the hero or villain. So if for some reason, or for the reason why I think when I actually do the actual Giganta mission, it doesn't show up on here for some reason, I'm going to leave a link for that episode of the hero mission, and you can actually get that Giganta mission through that episode. But yeah, I don't know why I don't know, like, 'cause I either do crappy recordings or just stuff just doesn't want to show up sometimes. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe I just don't hit record the right way.
Gigantic greedy fool! She is toying with my ritual, hoping to gain more power. She will only succeed in giving Wonder Girl more of her own. You must salvage this situation. We cannot give the Amazons yet another weapon against us.
Yeah, but if anything, I kind of, coming back into this one, because this is further along into the story that I was already in. I started out doing part 0, and then I came to part 4. Or I think this is part 4 or 5 or something. Or maybe even 3, I don't know. The part will be numbered on the thumbnail for sure. But yeah, this will be a conclusion of the story that has already been made up. If anything, if you guys are unsure, I'll have a playlist on this. It'll probably just be called DC Universe Online Villain. You can guys go on and check that out, or you can check out the hero story if you'd like. But yeah.
Cersei wants mirror of Narcissus. Amazon leader has. You go and take it.
Yeah, but if anything, if you guys later on want to see any kind of DLC or exclusive content from this or anything else, or maybe just want a shout out, something like that, you guys can freely donate to my PayPal, whether it's $1, a dime, whatever. There's no set tier for I'm only.
Amazons have orbs of truth to give them strength in battle. Destroy the orbs. Give us.
There's no set tier system. Just like, well, I'm only gonna do this if somebody does that. No, I don't really. That doesn't matter to me. But yeah,
I fight for Cersei with you.
But yeah, it's kind of it was kind of weird, cause I already shot this way before, and I just recently got to the hero side of it fairly recently. I've just kind of been sitting on recordings, and I don't know why. I just really either just didn't have the time to do commentary over this, or it's just easier to just do a mobile game or something. Something quick and easy to do. And I know you're probably saying, well, shouldn't commentary be quick and easy to do? You would think, but like there's so much to like. There's so much more like setup and everything like that, and yeah, it looks easy, but it's. But yeah, it's kind of funny when I was playing this recently, and I kind of assumed after some point the health would kind of regen after if you just stood somewhere.
I will protect Wonder Girl with my life.
Yeah, not quite so for some reason. It didn't really like. So I was just standing in one place, and I was like, okay, health, start to go up, and the health just just stayed where it was, and I was like, crap, what am I gonna do? Because like I was at like one little tiny tick of health, and it's either, well, I can either get knocked out, or I could just kind of play through and hope for the best, and that's what I basically ended up doing. Luckily, I wasn't hit enough to garner, like, I just made it through the mission, luckily. And I'm like, man, that kind of sucks, because, like, there's sometimes when you just kind of like rest in an area because you kind of like kill everything you need to kill in the area just to kind of rest. And then once you rest, it's like, okay, well, I rested, but I'm not getting any health back. You would think I'd get some health back, but no. So I'm just kind of like, crap, man. I'm really gonna have to do something with health, because good grief, levels are hard. Levels are so hard when you're doing them like solo. You can have the best power and the best whatever, but these missions are some long-winded missions that, like, basically if you think that, oh yeah, I'm gonna just like, oh, I'm almost running out of health, I'm gonna run away from something and yeah, I'll be fine. No, like, most of the time, like, whatever the thing is you are attacking just follows you for, like, however long of a distance that you were doing this for. I was like, crap. I'm like, dude, it's so, like, you, like, there's no way to heal back up. Basically want me to get knocked out, so I have to start the whole thing, the whole level from scratch and work my way back up again. It's just like, man, that kind of sucks, but I don't know. I would love for a healing factor. If I could go through this game Wolverine style, then I would gladly trade a healing factor for any other assortment of powers or what have you, but I'm sure a lot of people are just like, well, just be better at the game. I wish that could happen easily. Just be better at the game. Could easily just solve all my problems. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. I really like this game. It's, like, and a lot of people say, it's like, well, why don't you record it more? I don't know, I just, like I said, I had 3 episodes of commentary to do, and I'm sure there's probably maybe a couple people to watch this and what have you, but I don't know, I don't know, whatever kind of floats my way ends up just really getting my attention, and then I'm just, like, I forget about, like, oh yeah, I should probably be consistently, like, still uploading this one thing that I was doing. But a lot of times, whatever I was doing was not, something that was, this big thing on my channel, so it just, I don't know. I would love that this would probably be, like, the biggest thing going on my channel. Like, I'd play it all the time. I would. If anything, I have so many other things that I'm also, like, planning on in the future, for stuff going out, so, yeah, it's just, like, I want to keep this, like, in mind. Then I also want to, like, man, I really want to continue this series, and man, I want to finish up this thing, and oh yeah, I want to finish up, and I want to, like, there's one video where I spent 10 minutes recording, and that was like months ago, and it's still on my channel, holding on to this day, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta record another, like, 20 minutes of this, just so I can just get another one of these episodes out, and then after that, if I never come back to it, I never come back to it, but,
Circe's allies must be stopped! Attack!
but at least I'll have that recording.
Help us!
But I don't know, like, a lot of the series is just, I don't know, like, they're ones that I thoroughly enjoyed. It's just stuff that just never, like, just never lifted off. Never, like, whatever. So that's me talking about, yeah, my channel and Garbosh. But yeah, I made mention, because especially on this playthrough, like, if you guys watched episode 1 back, I had to create my own backstory for this character, because this character didn't actually have a backstory. Like, the backstory was, hey, this person randomly got powers, and he was in a pod by Brainiac, but he didn't have a backstory. There was nothing to invest in. There was nothing to, it was just, hey guys, people randomly got powers. I would rather have my hero already be established in the DC universe, rather than just, oh, here's a random person that randomly got powers. And because it's like, I'm sorry, when you look at every single hero you've ever known, they just they just didn't get their powers and their whatever and everything like that overnight. And yeah, and even if they did, like, maybe like a Static, like, you still got to know his backstory. Like Static Shock, if you guys don't know who Static Shock was, basically he and his buddies had some kind of, like, gang war by a chemical plant, and this chemical plant was releasing all these, like, toxins and stuff like that. It's the old classic, like, toxic waste dump thing. And I apologize if I'm not saying this exactly right for Static Shock fans, but I actually would love it if actually Static was actually used more prominently in the DCU landscape. I know, I believe, I want to say it's like McDuffie or Duff. I know the guy, Michael McDuffie, I want to say his name is the guy that created Static Shock, and he ended up passing away. And he was the one that wrote a lot of stuff. Like, he wrote Tower of Babel and stuff like that. And he was the one that actually created Static Shock and stuff like that. And so it's just kind of like, well, it's probably all about, like, rights and stuff like that, and what they should legitimately do for the character. I always thought that, like, Static Shock would be, if they're really not going to use him for real, true prominent, like, future Justice League, like they did in the cartoons, then I think it would be great if they actually used Static Shock in, like, Justice League Dark, or, if Shazam isn't going to be used in the actual legitimate Justice League, toss him in Justice League Dark. Or Animal Man, again, toss in Justice League Dark. But again, I would love Static Shock to actually be just used. Like, it would be great for having him to be used in this game, because I think probably a lot of people probably forgot about him. Because, like, his New 52 books didn't sell that well. It's kind of funny how Animal Man sold really well, but I don't think they really did anything prominent with him. Still to this day, they probably haven't done a rebooted book for him. Evidently, there's more important characters to be rebooted, like Dial H for Hero for some reason, or It's too bad we didn't get that Resurrection Man reboot. Man, like, our Grifter. Yeah, they didn't use Grifter. God, there's so many stories in the new 52 that they ended up not going with. But this is where the Giganta story was. I purposely stopped the recording and then re-recorded it so that way I could get this story, and nothing happened for some reason. So yeah, I'm going to leave a link down below for that storyline recently that I put in my hero thing where you guys can see the fight. Because for some reason, the fight and the cutscene, because really it's basically the same thing. Yeah, I was just looking at that, looking at kind of different like costume schemes. Because if anything, I kind of want to. I don't want to stay consistent. For some reason, my hero story is just. I've stayed consistent on that just because there's nothing. There's really nothing for like women's clothes as far as like chest pieces or shoulder stuff or whatever. That actually work well.
Well, I may have use for you in the future.
Great. It's great. I had to fly all the way there and whatever just to.
LexCorp's Agent Respect has an urgent job for you at the Little Bohemian nightclub. Do you think they choose their code names or pull them out of a hat? If you find out, let me know.
I would like to hope that this person, like, pulled it out of a hat. Agent Respect just kind of sounds a little, like... Couldn't have come up with anything a little bit more cooler than that. But I think here I kind of, like, check my mail and collect some things. Because really there's, it's not a frequent amount of times that I get mail and stuff like that, but... like every once in a while I'll look to see if something was dropped. But I don't know, I'm hoping to, recording-wise, make a lot of progress on this game. It just might be a little bit slower because there's some days it's just kind of whatever I feel like. So like to promise, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get to this game and this whatever. The problem with that is there's so many things that I want to do all at the same time, and so it just goes down to like, well. What will be a good thing to do that will, that'll generate something? Much more so than, like, man, I really love doing this game. The thing that kind of, like, does kind of suck about this game is, like, you don't make a lot of progress really quickly. So, really, to look at things and just go, hey, yeah, I wanna be able to buy this, or I wanna be able to get this, or I wanna be able to, yeah. You look at all the prices, and then you're just like, oh yeah, I have none of that. Oh yeah, I have nothing of this. Oh yeah, I don't have anywhere close to be able to getting this and that, so it's just kind of like looking at this, it's like, yeah, it's either that or you don't have the skill set or the power or the whatever. Not even know why I'm even buying off vendors from here, and I don't think I even did. I just kind of looked there because I've never been into this place before, so I just kind of looked at, like, what do they have for stuff here. But, I don't know. Some of this stuff looks kind of cool, but when looking at it, it's like, yeah, a little too rich for my blood. Yeah, but it's kind of one of those things where when you see something new, yeah, you're just like, yeah, I want to be, I want to be looking at this new thing. I never saw this before, so you want to give it a shot and just see what the heck it is, because what the heck is this? What is it?
LexCorp funds the Meta Wing of Metropolis General Hospital as a front for some very illegal experiments. Something went haywire and the patients are rioting. We need those patients back. And the press kept out. I'll give you a special encasement device to use. Think you can handle it?
Oh. We're gonna meet...
Good, you're on the job. It seems patients at my metahuman wing at Metropolis General Hospital are resisting Dr. Psycho's experimental treatment. But work on the metahuman brain is at a crucial stage. I don't need this interruption or the publicity. Put down the riot and retrieve my test subjects.
We're gonna meet somebody's cousin pretty soon. If anything, I was like, oh my god, it's Parasite!
This is your mainframe, the nerve center of your lair. You can use it to gain access to powerful tools like orbital strikes, henchmen, and powerful equipment mods. Your mainframe's power is maintained here as well, so be sure to keep it up so you can access the more powerful features. This is your dispenser, where you'll pick up the items that you've chosen in the mainframe, such as communicators for your henchmen and orbital strikes. Finally, this is your base's control panel. It's used to enter decoration mode, alter some of the colors of your base, and for other diabolical purposes.
Yeah, I kind of went through the home schematic thing, because I never did it on either a hero or villain thing. If anything, I'm going to leave a link, probably the next time I do a hero story. I'll leave a link for the hero setup here, or for the building setup here, because I don't think I showed that in the hero aspect. And people, I'll leave a link for this video here, so that way they can eventually see that. This isn't very much exciting. It's just kind of plopping things down. But this episode is probably going to be a big like transition episode. Then like the next couple episodes are going to be pretty interesting. Like I said, we're going to meet someone's cousin, and we're going to
While in
fight that cousin.
decorator mode, you can place your items at the appropriate markers. While most base items are just for show, there are amenities you can acquire that have very specific functions like bank, mail, and broker access. However, amenities can only be placed at specific markers. Once you have filled up enough markers, you will unlock free placement mode and be able to place base items almost anywhere. That's the gist of it. I'm sure you'll figure out even more tricks to your base. Have fun decorating. Remember, make it evil. And don't forget to try placing those items.
Make it evil. Better do it. Make that place evil. Sorry, you guys haven't gotten you guys haven't given me evil scenery pieces that I can add to my domain. So yeah, a little strapped for not a lot of scenery pieces. One thing that that would be cool would actually, because I kind of wish you could gain some, like, these time capsule things are great. They're awesome. They're cool looking. The only thing is, it's just, like, it's another one of those things where it's like, well, yeah, it's a DLC and whatever, and you can get it through paying and whatever. Like, why can't you just actually just earn this stuff through the game? But again, it's like, well, yeah, but they don't want to just give you all the cool stuff right away and whatever. And sometimes some people just sell off their stuff, and then you can possibly get it through a vendor. But yeah, just I don't know. I would much rather get like instead of just cool looking clothing, I would much rather get like just something much more substantial to get me through like levels and stuff like that. Like I wouldn't want to spend money on like clothing and stuff like that. I would probably want to spend money much more on like actual like additions to the story, um maybe powers um that are DLC'd in the game rather than any of the rather than really any of the like uh the clothing options. It's like, dude, like the clothing really doesn't matter because eventually, if you just keep going and going and going through, eventually, like for me, like for both of my characters that I have here, like you don't see the clothing change frequently. Um, so like that's what I could really say is just like I'm not a person that really like the clothing aspect of it like really matters to me because it's kind of funny to where like a Batman or whatever, they would probably change consistently their suits to just kind of sell like action figures or whatever. But like for me, like I like to have like a superhero uniform and yeah, uh, and just be like one like so that way like from episode to episode to episode like people will remember like how my character looks. Like if I completely change every single episode, then if somebody wasn't subscribed to here and they just uh, were looking for the like they could easily find because I've just looked consistently or whatever. And plus two, like I like my character to look a certain way. There's sometimes with some of these character clothing pieces that uh, my the character design and that clothing piece just doesn't kind of mesh well together. Um, if anything, for my character, as you can kind of see, I wanna have him be very much like a Lobo or like a or an Animal Man or a supernatural character being, probably the equivalent of more than likely a lot of people would probably say the DC Ghost Rider, but I don't know. I love characters like Spectre and like Justice League Dark and stuff like that. So realistically, that's kind of my plan of where I look at for costume design, especially for this character. But my hero was just kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of mix a whole bunch of stuff together and see if this looks good. And instead of going back in my head and like, well, hey, what character should fit this thing and whatever. But I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully, get another clip done. So goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.